Travel ban. Can we talk travel ban? Welcome, and if you're just joining me, my name is Dr. Deidre Moss. I am an educator, a motivator, and a talk connoisseur. Today, we'll be talking about a topic that has sparked some conversations recently, that being travel bans, Trump's travel bans. But before we begin, if you're tuning in from our social media page and you just joined us, like and share this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and links on our page. If there's something you think that we should be talking about, feel free to let us know. We want to hear from you. Let us know if you would like to advertise on our platform or sponsor our program. With that said, let's get into our topic. Now, let me start off by saying that this is a conversation that has been ongoing and will continue to evolve. That said, if you are informed or well versed about this topic, I invite you to join me as to dissect and discuss this topic. Also, if you want to join in as well, please add and share your comments in the video. So, as a disclaimer, welcome to the program. I'm an educator, a motivator, and a talk connoisseur, as I would have said before. I have a background in marketing, journalism, and mass communication, and I view the world through these lenses. I focus on issues from a Caribbean regional perspective, but more specifically, the Bahamas, where I currently reside. I also discuss international issues and their impacts on our communities. I started this program several years ago to create meaningful content, and as a platform, we want to grow. So, grow with us. And if you are in a position to donate as we seek to grow, even grow into a studio space, please reach out to us using the contacts on our page. So, with that, let's get into our session. So, it would be remiss for me not to talk about the conflict in the Middle East. And there's so much going on in the world today. There is a lot of unrest, but one thing that has taken top priority on the global stage, that is conflict in the Middle East. And with this conflict playing out every day, moment by moment, developing, everything else seems to be taking a back seat. So, like everyone else in the global community, we are paying close attention to these events as they unfold, with full awareness that peace in the Middle East results for peace in the entire global community. So, today we want to focus on the travel ban to immigration policy. Sorry, so I know there will be some interruption as the weather is it's very rainy, and there's thunderstorms going on. So I know there may be some interruption. So please excuse me. So today, like I said before, we want to focus on Trump's travel ban policy, as this policy can potentially have tremendous impacts. So, this policy is also connected to immigration policies, which have been hotly debated recently. And we've seen the protests against ICE mass deportations in the US, the upset over student visa changes, and more recently, changes to the travel ban policy. So again, let me just go back again and apologize again to the impact that the technical difficulties that I might experience in this session due to the weather, and that's uncontrollable. Um, so, what does all these changes mean, and how do they affect the average person? And in this context, the everyday Bahamian and even further everyday citizen in the Caribbean region. So it is fair to say that many persons in the Caribbean have been impacted by these immigration policies. And further impacts will be felt due to the fact that it has been reported that even more countries, including some countries within the region, will be added to the travel ban list should they not comply. So, what should you know about Trump's travel ban? If you're living in the Caribbean region, you are already affected by the travel ban, and even further, greatly affected if you are a citizen of the Caribbean countries that have been added to the travel ban list. So, what are the facts? Recently, President Trump announced a renewal or re-emergence of a travel ban policy from his first term in office when Trump issued an executive order in January 2017, which saw seven countries, including Iraq, Syria, Iran, Sudan, Libya, Somalia, and Yemen, banned from travel to the US. And this was commonly referred to as the Muslim ban. However, this new executive order reflects a travel ban on 12 countries. So the 12 countries included in the travel ban include Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eurasia, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. So this policy took effect June 9th, 2025. And additionally, the travel ban policy also spoke to heightened restrictions on visitors from Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. And also, the US expanded travel restrictions to include the following countries, including Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts, and Nevis and St. Lucia. So, the US is also currently considering 36 countries to add. So full that includes full or partial bans, considering that if you're not comply with something that's uncontrollable, we may have some technical difficulties. So I do want to apologize for that. So note, some of these countries were previously mentioned on the full or partial ban list, and those countries include Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cabo Verde, Cambodia, Cameroon, and several other countries that have been listed on this travel ban. So the travel ban will apply to persons outside of the US who are not visa holders, and visa applications from those countries on the travel ban list will be reviewed, but these applications will go through the approval process. So Trump's travel ban also includes exceptions for people with dual citizenship, government officials, and diplomats and other exempted groups, as identified in the travel ban policy, which also includes athletes and coaches who are traveling for major sporting events. And even further, there are more talks to revise the travel ban to include more countries to the list, as I would have mentioned earlier. And some of those countries include countries in Africa and countries in the region. So, what is the purpose of the ban? To Trump, the goal of the travel ban is to prevent poorly vetted persons from entering the U.S., a policy that is crucial to protect the U.S. from foreign threats and other threats to its national security. And additionally, the U.S. Washington Post reported that the U.S. State Department has several concerns, including the following: a lack of competent or cooperation from the government of some of the countries on the travel ban list, or those countries that are up for consideration to be added to the travel ban list to produce reliable identity documents. Two, cooperation from said countries to remove its citizens from the US, the overseeing of visas, and citizens from said countries of terrorism, anti-Semitic, or anti-American activity in the US. So, how will this affect us? Travel. About travel. Travel to the US will be impacted. Immigration policy. More stringent policies, including those related to student visas and other travel documents. Compliance. Compliance to the US immigration policy requirements. So here are some questions for consideration as we see all of this unfold and we see all of this develop even further. As we consider the travel ban policy and overall immigration policies, here are some questions for consideration and even thoughts for reflection. Let's rethink travel. If your travel plans included a trip to the US, rethink about travel outside of the US. And while this has been an option for travelers a long time ago, some people might be new to this idea, but it's something that is worth exploring. Local immigration policies. Consider our own immigration policies. How do we vet our citizenship process? And we often see a listing of persons applying for citizenship in the local newspaper. But how is this process further scrutinized? And I'm sure there are internal mechanisms in the relevant departments. So these are questions to consider. How do we verify that these people are who they say they are and their purpose for applying for citizenship in the Bahamas? Should our citizenship process, identity documents, permit, and travel documents be revised and further scrutinized? And how do our relevant authorities ensure compliance with the new travel ban lists, considering meeting the requirements needed to avoid being placed on the travel ban list? Have we considered our vetting processes? So, this topic will continue to evolve as the immigration policies are revised and updated, and as a country essentially with open borders and whose major industry is tourism, I think it's important for us to watch closely as this issue continues to evolve. So, this brings us to our motivational minute. And while I pull that up, I'll also check for comments. And again, if you wish to add your comments, feel free to share and add your comments. We do want to hear from you. So, this brings us to our motivational minute. And this is your reminder to stop feeling guilty for leaving some people behind, for cutting ties. Everyone can grow with you. Sometimes we need a reminder that it's okay to leave some people in the past. It is fair to say that we sometimes hold on to people longer than we should because we hold on to the past. We hold on to the good memories that we shared. But as we change, grow, and develop as individuals, we won't be able to carry the same people to our future that we had in the past. If we truly want to evolve or even advance, that individual or group may have been good at that time for you in the past, but at this time and in this moment and in this season, they no longer serve a purpose in your life. And if we're going to be honest with ourselves, you already know this. When you cling to the things that you're supposed to release, you cannot make room for the things that need to enter. In order to make room for the new, you have to release the old. And as challenging as it may be, if you want to grow, you have to go, you have to let go. And that might require that you cut ties and leave some people behind, leave some groups behind, and leave some people and some groups behind. So, this brings us to the end of our motivational minute. And this brings us to the end of our session. We spoke about the travel ban. So if you want to add your commentary, you can add your comments in the video. You can leave it under this video. You can also share this video as well. And we spoke about the travel bans, as this is a topic that will continue to evolve. So this brings us to the end of our session. Thank you for tuning in and joining us today. We want to remind you to advertise with us. Let us know if you want to advertise with us. You can also reach out to us through our page. Our contacts are there. We want to grow, so grow with us. To those watching via social media, thank you for listening in. Like our page for future notifications of upcoming sessions. Comment under our videos. Let us know your thoughts and let us know what you want us to talk about. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Can We Talk? Follow us on Instagram and Twitter using the addresses provided on our page. So remember, let's think, talk, do.